Ex Wallkill, Bethelite, and Serenity here. Trying to get the technical stuff down here. But we're about to do a movie review. There she is. We're about to do a movie review. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like first. So there's a movie that we both watched. And if you were to rate it from 1 to 10, what would you give it? And this is for Jehovah's Witness themed
it's a
movie.
series.
Well,
Not
series,
just one
yeah.
movie, but yeah, it
It's
was
a
good
series.
actually. So I would give it a 9 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Cause I don't keep I don't watch TV, and Marcus even knows stuff does not keep my interest for me to even watch it, especially if it's a series. But this actually did, so yeah, it was good.
She does not watch TV. And we probably have watched one whole episode or one whole series. What was that? The 100? We watched the 100. And we watched it from season 1 all the way through. And I think that's the only thing that we watched. And
even that I was tearing.
Even that she was getting mad through some of them and all that stuff. So virtually anything we put on, she get mad and she because it's not put together well enough. This show, I'm gonna give it a 10. Let me switch over here real quick and then we'll switch back over. I'm gonna give it a 10. The name of it is, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's on Hulu. The name of it is Under the Bridge. Under the Bridge is the name of the series. You can watch the series on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, a lot of times you can do like a free trial for like a month, and you ain't gonna need the whole month to watch this. So I would just do a free trial if you don't already have Hulu. But this is, like she said, it's a series. There were about 8 episodes in the series. And this movie is about a Jehovah's Witness family. I give it a 10. The reason is because, let me move it back. I just want to show you guys what it looks like, what to look for. It's number 5 now, but this show was number 1 on Hulu. I give it a 10. The reason I give it a 10 is I don't know any other movie about Jehovah's Witnesses that actually show Jehovah's Witnesses being Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't mean shows about Michael Jackson and stuff like that that has absolutely nothing in it about Jehovah's Witnesses. This bad boy is about Jehovah's Witnesses. This bad boy has them praying all Jehovah Witness like and culty like.
Our Father, and they were talking about how, you're not going to make the resurrection or be saved.
This is about Jehovah's Witnesses. So as far as movies that are about Jehovah's Witnesses, this is probably the best one I've seen. I don't know of any other ones that have been number 1 on the streaming service that it's been on. Or I don't know one that wasn't just primarily watched by former Jehovah's Witnesses, by us. You know what I mean? That series that was on back in the day with Leah Remini, other people may have watched it, but it probably was more so us watching it. This bad boy was number 1 on Hulu. So I give it a 10. As far as a series is concerned, it was actually good. Mm-hmm. We watched that bad boy all the way through. It was actually good. So I don't want to spoil it.
Right. It's like, if you're going to watch it, we don't want to give too much information, but yeah.
Somebody said perfect timing, halftime for the finals games. I thought the NBA games came on tomorrow.
I don't know.
But we're going to tell you a little bit.
Now you're distracted.
I know, right?
You're like, what? Finals? Wait a
I
minute.
just want to look to see. No, I don't think it's come on. Right? Well, I don't know what date that is.
That's today.
So let's not get distracted. That was very mean.
Who is it? Mr. Smartmark.
Yeah, that's going to distract me.
Yep.
Talking about the NBA Finals, but let's get back to this movie, Under the Bridge, or series, Under the Bridge. Let's get Serenity's thoughts first before we get into mine, because I get the blabbing and whatnot. Let's get Serenity's thoughts first. Let's get Serenity on the camera real good here.
So it was basically very good without giving too much. It showed life of like a teen or a person, a witness child, essentially, teen who is raised in this cult and how their life is affected. And there's so many dynamics of growing up as a Jehovah's Witness and how it affects your life. And that's what I actually liked about this movie, is that it showed when you actually have parents that are very strict and indoctrinated how they raise their child and the effect that it has on them in school, as well as when they actually have to deal with the real world. They're not prepared and they become easy targets because they are inexperienced and basically sheltered from reality. So, yeah.
Yeah, those are good points. And what I like about this series is, depending on your experience with Jehovah's Witnesses, you're going to pick up on different aspects of the show. That's Bernie over there digging. I don't know what he's digging for. There's buried treasure in the chair, apparently. He's digging under the chair. He doesn't know that he's being broadcast doing it. I don't think he'd be happy about that, but he is very intent on digging under the chair. So,
Stop.
depending on your experience with
Stop.
Jehovah's Witnesses,
That's enough.
you're going to zero in on different things that you notice in the show. What I noticed in the show, Serenity brought out the points about being a teenager and growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. That brought back flashbacks to my mind also, because the teenager in this show was listening to the exact same rap album, had the case and everything. I won't spoil it and tell you what it was, but listening to the exact same rap album that a lot of us Jehovah's Witness teens were listening to also. And we would be in the parking lot of the Kingdom Hall showing the case to our friends and talking about the songs on the CD. The parents and everybody inside the hall, we're out in the parking lot talking about this stuff. And it just blew my mind when she had the same freaking CD. I think they really did interview this Jehovah's Witness family, and they probably told the truth. Yeah, this is the CD she had. Because back then, a whole lot of Jehovah Witness teens were listening to certain rap CDs. I'll just put it like that, and y'all will remember when you see it.
I wasn't allowed.
I wasn't allowed either, but we got our hands on it. And what really zeroed in my mind as I'm watching this show is that the people, in my opinion, knew that Jehovah's Witnesses were a cult, but they felt like it was an easy community to become a part of because they're coming from another country. I'm not going to tell it all, but they're coming from another country, and you're wanting to make friends, you're wanting to meet people. Oftentimes, people who are foreign coming from another country to America might experience some sort of racism, even. So they're going through hardships trying to make friends and fit in. Well, what's the easiest way to fit in somewhere? Is to just join a cult. They'll let anybody in.
But that's how they do things. Is basically they look for individuals, whether they're from a different country or they're in a difficult life situation. They literally prey on people who are kind of at a low point in their lives, and that's what it shows too.
Raza down there is right there on which CD it was, because I had both of them when I was
It's
Jehovah's Witness.
one.
She gave it away. She gave it away. But this is the reason why it zeroes in on to me, because the cult looks for people who are vulnerable, who they think are kind of looking for a community or looking for somebody to talk to. However, there are also people who take advantage of the cult. So it's not just the cults looking for people who are going through things. People who are going through things sometimes say, well, this is a cult. We know it's a cult. Let's join this because it'll be easy. And that's the thought that I'm getting from watching this show. When you watch the show, look at all the details. It's on Hulu. Again, it's called Under the Bridge. Pick out all the details. I think they knew full well this is a cult. We can darn near take advantage of these people. Like, these people are dumb. We can easily use them as a community. And they were having a conversation, and that's what I picked up on. I picked
It's
up
not
on
that
they're doing it on
dumb.
purpose.
It's basically they fell for the okie doke, the love bombing.
No, I'm not talking about the family falling. I'm talking about the family realizing this is a cult. We're going through a hard time. Let's use them.
They
In
don't know
the
it's a cult.
conversation,
No one joins a cult willingly, even for benefits, because there's no benefits. Like, I'm sorry, I disagree with you.
That's fine, but
I'm just saying.
I'm about to
Like,
hit on some points that people are going to understand.
Like you join it because you have the sense of community, but at the same time, it's not like you sit there and say, I'm going to take advantage of this, because it's a catch-22. You start having that codependent relationship where you both get something out of it. So they get community, being, somewhat not fitting in, and the cult gets new members. So that's what it is.
So she doesn't agree that they were aware that this was a cult. I think they were aware that this was a cult. These are Indian people.
No one says, this is a cult, let me join it. They think it's a normal religion and they're trying to seek for God.
She says no one. I know people who join the Mormons because they think it's easier to get married there. They know it's a cult. They don't care.
Even if you get, that's some stuff right there. If you join a cult to get married to a cult member that has those indoctrinated beliefs and stuff, what type of marriage is it going to be?
I was about to touch on that.
I'm just saying.
I was about to touch on that, but she doesn't think it. She doesn't think it exists. It may not for women. I was about to say that.
I'm just saying.
Women may not join
from
cults.
A different country. You literally don't understand the whole concept of a cult. You really don't. Trust me.
Okay.
You don't.
Women may not join cults to get married. I don't speak for women because I don't know. I know men who go to church for the sole reason that there are women there. There are men who will not leave out a cult, right? If they'll go to the Baptist church because they feel like there's some fine women at the Baptist church, they'll join the choir, they'll do all kinds of stuff, right? We know, men will do all kinds of things, right? If they think that there's some women there, they're probably going to go. Anywhere where there's going to be a lot of women, there's probably going to be a lot of men. Why? Because the women are there. Now, the women may not go because the men are there. They may go because they honestly are religious, which I think is true. I think there probably are a lot of women that go to church. They may be Mormon, they may be Jehovah's Witness, and they may be that because they really believe it. But there are men who are Jehovah's Witnesses because they can easily get married. All they got to do is be able to underline a watchtower. Mormons, there are people who, I know for a fact there's people that join the Mormons just because their girlfriend is Mormon. So, you know what I mean? In my opinion, because early in the show, I don't want to give it all away, but early in the show, there's a guy and he wants to marry this Jehovah's Witness. And the way that they explain it is so accurate. It's so accurate that the mom wants the daughter to marry specific people. Of course, if she's a Jehovah's Witness, she wants her to marry specific people. But then there's this guy who's not a Jehovah's Witness, who is, I'm sure, a lot more intriguing than these other cult members. He's probably nowhere near as empty-headed as a lot of these cult members, but he will join the cult to marry her. I don't think he was fully indoctrinated. You have to watch the show and look at the family and look at the differences between the woman and the man. It is accurate. It is accurate. When you have a guy who marries into a cult because he wants to marry some girl, yeah, it worked, but this woman is insane. Basically, he's not fully into it as much as she is. You can tell in the show.
He's not as strict, basically.
No, you're not going to be as strict. So you're not going to be as strict. The people who marry Mormons,
he still follows it, but not like, you know, the mother was on a whole different level.
The mother was a prototype. She was a Jehovah's Witness. She was extremely strict. She's trying to force her daughter into believing what she believes and living how she wants to live. And because of how strict the mom is, she's making it harder on the daughter. Now, I can relate to that because I remember going to school, and you don't necessarily have to tell people you're a Jehovah's Witness. If you're going to school and you're embarrassed about that religion, or you don't really believe it, you don't have to go around telling everybody you're Jehovah's Witness. But the way your parents make you dress and present yourself, it's a dead giveaway that there's something off. So there was something about that girl. I won't say what it was, but if people saw it, was making fun of it. When I was younger, I wouldn't go around telling everybody I was Jehovah's Witness. But my mom I don't know who did it. I don't know if it was my mom or my stepdad. Somebody was sending me to school in pants so tight that everybody knew something was off. I would just walk to school, and people, not to school, but I would get dropped off at the school, and I'm sitting in the car like, man, I'm about to get made fun of. Wow, all my pants so freaking tight. And as I'm walking, all I hear is people saying, man, tight. Like, them bad boys is tight. And they were tight. Half the time my shoe was untied because my pants were so tight I couldn't bend over to tie my shoes. I'm talking tight. So tight that when I walked in the class was quiet. Tight. You know how women go to work out in freaking tights, or what do you call the spandex? Or whatever it is. Leggings. My pants were about that tight.
I don't know why you had tight pants.
Because my parents, I remember going through.
Christian.
Oh, shoot. Not now. But when I was younger, that was before Toni Morris came out with the whole tight pants doctrine. Toni Morris came out with the tight pants doctrine, but there was no tight pants doctrine when I was younger. And I'm talking, everybody knew something was off. I would try to walk fast through the halls. It didn't matter how fast I walked. You have a door here. right? Because you're in school and you're walking down the hall and you're walking past doors. As I'm walking past doors, all you see is heads turning, and all you hear is people talking about tight with a capital T at the front and a capital T at the end. That's how tight them bad boys were. So I can relate to what the teen is going through, trying to make friends, but her parents, the Jehovah's Witness parents, are making life miserable for her. And I wanted to let me know if you want to touch on something, because I wanted to touch on how ridiculous I think it is to join a cult because to marry some girl or because you like some girl or something to that effect. Because this is what I think happens. Somebody's got a 4-year-old watching. Was I cussing earlier? Somebody says tone down the cussing. I don't remember if I even cursed.
No.
But they want us to pipe down the cussing, even just in case you're thinking about cussing. So I don't think it's intelligent to join a cult to get married. It's not that it won't that you won't be able to get married in a cult. But I think what happens is men will go to church, and yes, there's lots of women in church, and then also too these cults. And I think the problem is men are so visual that all the importance is on what they physically see, but there's no importance put on anything. It's like if I were to go get a car just because of how the car looks like on the outside. This car got all kinds of problems, but all I care about is what does it look like on the outside. I don't even care if it drives. That makes no sense at all, because you may have guys that will I'm sure guys that go to the gym just because there's girls there. I'm sure there's guys that do all kinds of stuff. But you don't have guys, this is to prove my point. You don't have guys, or maybe there's cursing in the chat, I don't know. You might have guys, you do not have guys going to the nursing home to get married. If you go to a nursing home, and there's all these older ladies there, and you go from room to room and ask them out on a date, there's highly likely the majority of them will say yeah, but you do not see not nan guy going to the nursing home. Why? Because it's all visual. It's all visual. You go to the nursing home, you see bedpans. You see people laid out in the bed. You see freaking walkers. You see all kinds of Pampers. You see stuff that is not physically attractive, but mentally it don't make sense to go to a nursing home to find a date, even though you will be successful. It's the exact same with going to a cult to find one. It's the exact same. The only difference is you don't always physically see all the issues you are about to get yourself into. I was born and raised in that cult. I don't know a soul. I don't know a soul that got married in that cult and that was happy. And I'm talking 2 cult members, let alone somebody who know full darn well it's a cult, but they figure these people are so freaking easy to what do you call it, blend in with. And I've talked to people on the phone who were thinking about going back. Why? Because they were having a hard time dating and whatnot. Those people are not.
Sorry.
Those people, let's get zoom in on Serenity laughing at people.
No.
Laughing at the pain. Laughing at the pain.
I'll get one.
But those people, I'm getting all that laughter. Those people are not going to go to the nursing home. There's no guy that's going to be so desperate that they're going to go to the nursing home because you think all these problems. You're thinking problems. You're thinking that there ain't a whole lot of benefits to going into a nursing home and dating some chick at the nursing home. You're not thinking that there's benefits. Your mind plays tricks on you when you see something that you think is attractive because there ain't no benefits in doing it in a cult either. That's the same freaking thing. So when people tell me that they're having a hard time and they want to join the cult to see if they can get married or what have you, I tell them, you know what I mean? You want to marry a crazy person? You don't go to the insane asylum to go find one. You go find one there. So why is it that you don't go to the insane asylum and find you a date, but you're gonna go to a Kingdom Hall where you know that them people are insane there also? I was born and raised JW. My family got a divorce. I'm talking stepdad, elder. You know what I mean? We pioneered all kinds of stuff. Doesn't matter. Crazy ain't fun after so long. Crazy is not fun. It's fine when you're at the hall and you're looking at the person in another freaking row. That's probably fine. But when crazy don't work, but for so long. I have siblings that got married in that cult. And, you know, probably the worst thing the guy ever did, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not talking about my older sister. My older sister is no longer a Jehovah's Witness. She woke up. But my younger sister is a Jehovah's Witness. And to this day, I feel sorry for the guy. Like it's probably the worst thing he did. I don't think that marriage is happy. So our parents got divorced. Our Jehovah's Witness parents got divorced. My younger sister got married, and I think she's staunch JW, and it's darn near just like this show, where I don't think the guy is as strict with it, but she's staunch JW and probably freaking is trying to be the family head and every daggum thing else and walk all over him and whatnot. I don't think that that's a happy situation. Matter of fact, last time I checked, it wasn't. I have cousins, and the ones that are Jehovah's Witness, for the most part, it's all bad. Anybody wanting to marry them, it's all bad. So, I mean, I'm telling you from experience, I got aunts. I don't know a single one. I don't know a single one that has the marriage that a person would that's in the fairy tales or the books. Not that that stuff exists, but they're just all bad. All of them are bad. I was raised in this stuff. There was and this is when I say, stop me because I get to rambling. There was a woman that I somewhat liked before going to Bethel, but picked Bethel. I was strict on wanting to do what I thought, quote unquote, thought Jehovah wanted. So I put my feelings aside, never dated her. So it wasn't like I led her on or anything, never dated her. But I think we kind of liked each other. But I went to Bethel anyway. Well, this girl eventually gets married. And I'm happy for, you know what I mean? I'm at Bethel. That's what I wanted. She gets married. Boy, don't you know they got a divorce too? They got a divorce too. So I see her in the mall, and here this girl that I used to like before going to Bethel, this is somebody's baby mama now. Like I can literally not think of one. And I'm talking these divorces happen quick. Like by the time I figure out that they done got married, they done already got divorced. And these are people who are both pioneering, both doing exactly what Watchtower says they should be doing. So it makes absolutely positively no sense to marry inside of a cult. If you don't listen to me and none of all the experiences that I've had, look at this movie, look at or this series. The guy wants to marry this girl is in the cult, and I'm sure his life is screwed up from there on because she is strict in it. It ain't like you're gonna get married and then say, well, this is just a cult. No, she's in it. So you got to live that mess every single day, 24/7, studying watchtowers and all that stuff. Don't do it. Don't do it. She doesn't think that there's a such thing
As what?
as people joining a cult, knowing full well it's a cult but they join it because they think there's some kind of benefit for them. There's elders that know full well it's a cult.
Right off, it's a cult because they think it's a Christian religion because they use Jesus.
I think my stepdad knows it's a cult. Now I don't know.
After the fact.
I don't know how long he knew, but I think that there's a good chance he knew early freaking on. Because for the longest time, all I remember is him flirting with every freaking one of them women. So I think that he knew, because if you think Armageddon gonna come any second, you're gonna flirt with everybody at the hall and everybody at every other hall. I think he knew, hey, this is a bunch of BS, but these people are easy to manipulate and empty-headed, and they all think I'm a rock star. Oh yeah, I'm staying here, is what I think happened. Because I remember he got this fellowship and he was like, I remember he told me, I just like being a Jehovah's Witness. Not as in, I think this is the truth. So of course there's no place else to go.
Someone said, stop snitching on your stepdad.
I'll snitch on everybody.
Hey John, how you doing?
I'll snitch on everybody. Who else me to snitch on? But no, he said, I like being a Jehovah's Witness, and I believe him. To this day, I believe him. He likes it. I think he likes being more of the center of attention, but I don't think he believes that this is a cult. I think there are guys. I don't know if they're women. Women can speak for themselves. I think there are 100% guys who look to manipulate situations. 100%. There are guys who look to manipulate situations. And a whole group of millions of empty-headed people are just waiting to be manipulated. Heck, Watchtower does it. The freaking governing body manipulates these people. You don't think anybody else would? Oh, yes, they would. But the problem is people think that they're going to marry a cult member and somehow be happy after that. And I think the reason why is they think they're going to follow the Bible. They think if I marry this cult member, well, they think this Bible is so important. They're going to do all this stuff. No, sir. And you can't make them do it either.
Well, the thing with joining a misogynistic religion cult is that whole thing. So if you find out, oh wait, they teach the man is the head of the woman and she has to do whatever I say, even if I'm wrong, she has to support me. Come on now.
That's why I don't know if women will do that.
Egos will love that type of thing, because you have to realize a man who is not stable within himself will look to that type of thing because he has the okay, sorry, I'm going all off once I get
No, go ahead. Go on ahead.
But this is in general, because this could be for a woman as well. So men who are insecure with themselves will look to kind of control in other aspects. And this goes all the way up to the top. If you really look at those men who are on, the governing body, they want to control because they have inadequacies within themselves. And it doesn't have to be that way, but that's just a tendency. So you have these ones, men and women, but especially men, when they're looking to marry in these cults and religions that are basically, I don't like to say it, but they are set up for the woman to be abused. That's the best way to put it, to be abused and misused, and as a, what do you say, like,
Tool.
it's not an equal, but yeah, like property, essentially. Like, you're here for my, needs and fulfillment and will and whatever. So of course you're gonna have men that are like, oh, that's what they're teaching over here. Okay, let me go get me a wife here.
Isn't that what I said? That's what I said. You said that don't happen.
No, I'm being blunt about it though. I'm just saying.
You said that don't happen.
They don't say it's a cult though.
They know it's a cult.
It's the ideals. It's the ideals, the teachings, the doctrines.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. There's a guy that I used to work with who wanted to be Muslim, and he told me, because we worked together every freaking day for years. So eventually he just told me the truth. He just wanted to be a Muslim so he can marry more than one wife. So yes, there are people who join religions because they think that there's a benefit and that the woman is trapped mentally inside a belief that benefits the guy.
That's the way this world's set up.
So I'm just saying that it happens. We're both in agreement now that yes, there are people who will try to join something that they think benefits them. The issue with the whole thing about Jehovah's Witnesses, I can't speak about no other religion in specific other than Jehovah's Witnesses. People think that they're going to marry a Jehovah's Witness and this woman's going to be, property and submissive and all that stuff. I ain't never seen it in my life. And I was raised in a Jehovah's Witness family. I ain't never in my life seen it. I've had relatives where I go over their house and the wife don't know I'm there.
7-7.
And she yells at the guy. I remember I was over a relative's house and he was going to just tell his wife that I was there. I came to visit, just showed up to visit. And of course, you want to let somebody know that they got company in the house. So he goes to let his wife know that I was there. And she, what? I mean, oh my God, screams at him. And because she didn't know nobody was there. As far as she knows, her husband was knocking on her door and bugging her. So she, what? I'm telling you, this whole concept that you're going to marry into a cult because cult members are more submissive or something to that effect is wrong. Super wrong. And I'm talking, this is wrong even with families who the husband's an elder and the wife is a pioneer and all that stuff. That's not how that works. It is not how that works. You might have people who are more timid as far as their personality is concerned, but then that's their personality. It's not just because there's a religion that just makes all these women timid and they're going to all listen to you and all that stuff.
Listen, I seen.
No, sir.
I seen some things. You're saying, I don't know any women, blah, blah, blah. But the undercurrent is the women kind of do run the household, but not in a way where it's like direct. But the thing is, if I've watched.
Kind of run the household. There's Jehovah's Witness families.
They organize and they keep things like going. That's what I mean as far as like,
There's Jehovah's Witness families where the guy takes the group out for field service just because the wife lets him do it. And I have seen situations.
I didn't grow up around that. I grew up about like complete opposite, where it literally made me angry to see my relatives, my grandmother, my own mother, my aunts, be submissive to the point where it's like you are.
See, she the one cussing.
No, I'm not. You are literally a slave. It's like you made this entire meal. You're going to sit there with all these people here and serve this man a plate after all the work you've been doing today, and he's off because it's a Saturday. He can't get off of his rear end to get himself a plate, and you think this is being submissive and all this other stuff? And he expects it. And if it's taking too long, he has the nerve to say, "Where's my plate?" Not, "Oh, can you get me?" No, it was disrespectful. And I seen that, and I was like, wow. No.
I did see women make a plate. I have seen that because I remember we went to gatherings, and where the husband is
I'll
busy.
make you a plate, not on mine.
Right,
it's not
right.
Like you expect it, and
right.
You're like, "Woman, get me a plate." I'll be darned. I'm sorry.
I'm just letting you finish so I don't lose my thought.
There's a difference when you're doing it out of love versus this person feels entitled, like you should be doing it because you are their property. You're their slave. Get it, woman. You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen that.
Iron my shirt, dude. I have, and I'm not.
Never.
And the same men.
The only time I've seen that, is where the woman was way younger than the guy. I have seen it where the woman was way, like I told you guys, there was a guy at Bethel who was in his 40s and his wife was 18. Yeah, that was darn near a father-daughter relationship. Yeah, he snapped his fingers and she came, but I don't see a whole bunch of grown women. I've never seen that. I've seen people go fix a plate, but it wasn't no woman, "Where my plate at?" I've never seen that, because you asking for is huge argument, because the same situation where the woman makes the plate, I remember a whole bunch of arguments and the guy getting locked out of his own room where he can't go inside his own room, like all kinds of I grew up around all kinds of stuff.
So our dynamics, there was tons of drinking, alcoholics, and I mean it was a family thing with the men.
We had alcohol around. I don't know.
And then when they drank, they got aggressive. So that's what I'm saying. And these were witnesses and whatnot. I'm talking about.
But I'm saying
some drinkers.
I'm saying the religion doesn't make them submissive. Some people may be more submissive by nature. Some people are more timid by nature. Some people are more quiet by nature. Some people are more, not just women, some people are more prone to follow lead than others. Some people are a little bit more prone to blaze their own path than others. But those are personality traits. The Jehovah's Witness cult is not going to make a person who has to blaze their own path, personality trait,
the whole thing of putting
transform them. They're going to say that that's what you're supposed to do, but it's not going to make them do it.
They're literally reprogramming you. So the same person who you were, you no longer are that person. And I've watched it happen. I've watched it happen to people who are susceptible. I mean, there's certain ones that aren't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
The majority of them
if you're joining the cult,
they use
because you think
to mess with people's minds.
This woman's going to obey you because I'm in this cult. That ain't happened. I haven't seen it happen. She may have seen it happen. I don't know. I have not seen it happen. I've seen people join the cult because they think this woman is going to obey them as long as they do their watchtower and raise their hand and give their talks. I was raised in a Jehovah's Witness family. I think you were too, but that was not how that worked.
I was raised.
That was not how that worked.
Generations of witnesses.
There were arguments. There was all kinds of stuff, and that religion is not going to force nobody to be no submissive. Because why do so many people get divorced then? You know what I mean? The cult teaches divorce is wrong. So if they're reprogramming people's brains to not get divorced, why did my family get a divorce then? Explain that. Going once, going twice. I don't see nobody explaining it. How my family get a divorce if the Jehovah's Witnesses reprogram my family to be happy because they read the family happiness book?
Because
you remember that family
get along,
happiness
you
book?
get along. And if you're a guy who isn't, you like women and you can't just stop flirting, then that happens.
But that's what I'm saying. The cult didn't reprogram that out of his brain. He was out there doing that stuff. So the cult also couldn't save the family. I remember elders coming over and all kinds of stuff. That didn't work because when my mom had had enough, she had had enough. So that the cult could not reprogram her to not want this dude in the house no more. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I'm saying, that there's people who join thinking this is the magic wand to just make everything work, and it's not. Somebody said my stepdad, not my dad. My father was not a Jehovah's Witness. Stepdad. Some divorces statistics. Yeah, same divorce statistics as the world. That's what I'm saying. If the cult can magically make people do whatever it is that they want them to do, I think that people believe the BS and attempt it,
Hi, Select
and it
Copy.
ends up not working out for them. Just like I went to Bethel. So yes, I believed the BS. I went to Bethel, but Bethel couldn't reprogram my personality into being something else. When I saw all kinds of mess, I spoke up about it. Then when I spoke up about it, it then was worse because I'm speaking up to people who are part of all this mess. So then they target you. So it can trick people into thinking that it's something that it's not. But I don't think it can transform a person because a cult is just feeding BS. So if you guys haven't already, we're talking about the movie,
Series.
the series.
I don't say movie because you think you're gonna sit down just for one 2 hour thing. No, it's a
like
series.
it's like eight episodes.
Eight little episodes, so you really get the whole picture of the whole storyline, basically.
Yep. It's 8 episodes and it's all good because I was at the edge of my seat through all 8.
It's disturbing too when you, because I feel for both sides. Yeah, I can't say.
You probably know
about
the movie. If you're a Jehovah's Witness from India, you probably know about the movie. On what stream? It's on Hulu. The series is on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, I would get a free trial just to watch it. And then after you watch it, if you don't like Hulu, I would just discontinue the free trial. But when you go through the thing to do the free trial, just get regular Hulu for the free trial. Because if you go in, I just want to let them know, to warn them. Hulu is also associated with Disney and other companies, ESPN, all kinds of stuff. So if you go on to the Hulu free trial, but then you go and select, oh, I want Disney, oh, I want ESPN, oh, throw, who knows, all kinds of other packages in there, then they're gonna charge you. Because only the Hulu is what they're giving you a free trial for. So if you do the free trial for Hulu, just select Hulu. Don't select everything that they could possibly offer, like Disney and everything else. Because then you're going to get charged. But if you want to just try it for free, then do the free trial for Hulu. And then just go to where the search option is, type in Under the Bridge, and you'll see the movie. And it is good. I don't be doing Sam Hurd imitations. I just be making fun of him because he old and
I haven't seen him.
He looked like a California raisin. You remember them California raisins? Old wrinkled black raisin is what he looked like to me. And he mean. That MFer is mean. I didn't curse. He is mean. I've been around him and the dude wouldn't turn around to shake my hand. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. Matter of fact, there are women who there are women who will go back to a cult to get married. Because I know somebody who goes back and forth. I know a guy who goes back and forth. where he leaves the cult for a while, then he goes back. He leaves the cult for a while, and he goes back. And what keeps pulling him back is he thinks he's just gonna get married over there. There's a woman I know that does the same thing, where primarily what they're interested in is getting married because they think if they marry a cult member, that cult member is going to follow the Bible to the letter. It's not true. I done told you. So watch this video because I would have loved to have had somebody warn me about Bethel before going to Bethel. You have somebody warning you about marrying a freaking cult member before you do it. Some people, they may wake up and their partner wakes up also. There's some people that wake up and other members of their family, like large portions of their family, wake up. I know somebody who was in and all their sisters were in. All their sisters are out now. That ain't the majority. That ain't the majority. A lot of people have to suffer through being shunned and all kinds of things. A lot of people, they try to leave that cult and the other person tries to take the kid and everything because they don't want the kid to be around them because they're telling the kid Jehovah's going to kill such as. It's horrible. I would not mess around with joining cults to get married. I mean, it's just like I said before, you ain't going to go to the freaking nursing home to get married because of all the problems that would, then why the heck would you join a cult when there's going to be just as many problems? Sam Herr reminds me of the whistling gopher from Winnie the Pooh. I kind of remember him. I don't remember him that well. Winnie the Pooh wasn't my thing.
I liked Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore.
Only thing I liked is how he used to chow down on that honey. He'd have him a big jar of honey and eat the whole freaking jar. But yeah, Sam Herr looks like balled up bowel movement to me with suspenders on. And I didn't curse. So this is rated G over here. But that's pretty much all I had on the movie. I think it's or the series. I call series as movie. I call everything movies. Yeah. I think it was good.
It's a mini series. It's not like like I said, there's 8
It's 8 episodes.
Episodes or hour and 15 minutes, something, whatever. I don't even remember, but you could watch it in a decent amount of time.
Yeah, a weekend.
And it's worth it to me.
Watch it.
And I don't like a lot of stuff, period, because I tear it apart and say how unrealistic it is and how it's not real. They missed the mark. You know, they messed up on the little theme. There's a gap. All of that. Like, I analyze stuff to the point where I don't even enjoy it, so I just don't watch it. But this actually I did.
I don't like Sam Herr because his rusty black behind knows it's a cult. But he's the only black one, so he figured he's celebrity.
They all know it's a cult. You know that saying, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think most of them know.
Forgiveness. They know exactly what they're doing.
Most of them know.
The only ones I feel for is like the normal JW.
But I don't like Sam Herr because he's so uppity. Sam Herr probably one of the more uppity people because Tony Morris is what he looked like. Tony Morris is extreme. He's an extremist. He does act the way you saw him on the broadcast talking about people bursting open like hot dogs and whatnot. That really is Tony Morris. But I did talk to him at the book study, and he'll talk to you like a regular person. Sam Herr ain't gonna look your way because he think he's so daggum uppity.
You guys.
You talking about
lose your faith in God after you left.
Where'd you see that one?
That was at the top. I'm not the one to ask that question to.
The one who does the Muppet faces is Stephen Lett.
Muppet?
Yeah, the one that does all the crazy. Somebody said the Muppet impressions. That's Stephen Lett. His face is just.
Yeah, that's Stephen Lett.
Yeah, Stephen Lett. So that's all I had. We were curled up We had popcorn and snacks and everything. We were watching that show. Just watch it over a weekend. Over a weekend, watch Under the Bridge. I forget what it was rated. What was that rated?
It's mature.
MA.
TVMA.
I
I
think
mean, it's because
the subject matter, but it wasn't like it was full of cussing, was it?
it wasn't. Yeah, it's the subject matter.
Yeah.
It's not like there's sex and stuff either.
No,
It's basically
there ain't no
drugs
nudity.
and
No
it's
nudity.
the bullying that's extreme. I think
Yeah.
that's why it's MA.
Yeah. There's
And
no
whatnot.
nudity and all that stuff. There
Yeah.
might be
And
some
drugs
profanity.
and whatnot.
Because you're talking about
Yeah.
people, teenagers and, so
It's okay. No one should be that sensitive at this point if you
No.
left JW.
it's just that way if you got
But
like
it's
young
not like
kids and
right.
you don't want them to hear any cursing.
Because it's scary for them.
Yeah.
It could be like too intense. Anxiety provoking.
Yeah, I wouldn't have young kids watch it at all. But I'm about to sign out here.
Yeah, because I got to get to sleep.
X-Wall killed Bethelite, and it's Serena's bedtime, and I'm sleepy too.
I got to catch some flights.
Yep, Serena got to catch some flights. And I can't get Bernie in there.
He's on the floor, right?
I'm going to drop the whole
There
thing.
it is. Yep,
Bernie already knocked out. Yep. All right, y'all have a good night. Signing out. As soon as I figure out how to cut this thing off.
Bye. Love you.